Yo, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video. And in this video, I want to speak about my frustration at the moment, being a Tottenham fan and seeing no progress at the moment at Tottenham Hotspur, especially beginning of the season, the last 3 games. And I know people will say in the comments and say, oh, you're just going over the top, you're throwing your toys out the pram. And on the relevance on that, saying those sort of things in this video, call me all the names under the sun. But I don't feel I'm going over the top at all. I feel that I think this is just the same old process we're seeing, what we've seen before. And the frustration for me is that I don't see progress in terms of the type of players that we're bringing in, the mistakes that we're doing all the time, the fact that we're making excuses for the players as well that are making these mistakes. And it's just leading me to think that regardless what I think of the manager, I don't feel that this is going anywhere for me. And I still need a lot of convincing. And I think the board, and regardless what Johan Lang said after the transfer window, it's even more put even more doubt in my mind, especially when he said that we needed to build up the squad. And what we built up the squad with, it's just made me feel even more doubt right now and even more disinterested how we're going forward right now. And it's going to take me maybe even another couple of seasons to see whether we actually stick with ANGE, which again, I don't think it's going to happen. And just what's going to happen next. I know that people will say that we're playing better football. We're starting to understand the system. And I think there's too much lift put on the system. There's not too much on the players trying to make the system work for them. Because I know for a fact, Aaron just said he's left it to the players to interpret what his instructions are and trying to interpret the system to try and use it to their advantage, and that's it. But I just look at players that are told what to do rather than actually trying to interpret it in their own way to try and work it for them, make the system work for them. And that's it. And being the players that they want to be and trying to express themselves. Because that's what I thought this whole ANGE being attacking football philosophy was all about, expressing yourself. But I don't see players expressing themselves. I don't see players being clinical. I don't see players actually improving. And for me, that is on the coach, the manager, and the club, and also the player as well. And from what I'm hearing from Johan Lang, from his interview after the transfer window ended with the club, interview with the club, he said that they were looking for personality that want to improve, want to achieve, want to win trophies. Well, you brought in Timo Werner, that for me is not good enough. Brought in Archie Gray, who's just a prospect that could even get on the pitch against Newcastle. So that shows a lot of prospect, doesn't it? We also had Lucas Berval, Min Yong Ling, Yang, and also Solanke, and also Audebert as well, that come in. And for me at the moment, that doesn't fill me with thinking that is a squad that competes. It's another thing about what I've said before, backups. I've said it how many times? Backups doesn't do anything for me anymore. Get me back Harry Winks, get me back Højbjerg, get me back Bergwijn, get me back Wamfoyth, get me back all those players that we thought were not good enough. Sissoko, I know they were older, but get me back all those players. Because at the moment, I just see the same old thing. Because if I really am being honest, yes, I look at Bergwijn and say, yeah, he's got the quality. You could say maybe Archie Gray's got the quality, but it's just frustrating because I think we're just making the same mistakes at the moment. And it's quite clear from when you saw the Newcastle game, parts of the Everton game, even though Everton, we did okay, we did good, but it was a really bad Everton team. Then Leicester game, you can see that we're very, very short in the squad at the moment. Where at the moment, I don't think we've actually got a squad to compete. And that's where my frustration is at the moment. And the fact that Ange is saying that, I think one of the quotes, and I think I'm going to get this wrong, is that he's saying we didn't get a defender in because we don't want to block the pathway to our youngsters, like Phillips, also Lucas Vukovic as well, but as a very young prospect as well, a defender. It just makes me think, well, why are we not thinking about the now? Because your future is great, but really your now does affect your future as well. And for me, I don't think we've considered that completely at all. And it's looked upon, as far as I'm concerned, as a transfer window where you need somebody to coach these players to make them better. But from what I'm hearing from training, the man that this Montgomery that we've got in, who's supposedly very good at player development, is more now sorting out the set piece. Is our set piece coach. So where is the player development to try and improve the players? Because clearly, to me, at the moment, we're trying to do a project where players have a high scene of improving, becoming better players. Now, for me, I don't see that improvement. After a year, I don't see an improvement in the roster that we had last year. And that's the concerning part for me at the moment. Very concerning. And then people say to me, well, we're moaning, we're going over the top. It's only been a year. But when you look at the stats and look at how we've really not progressed since the first 10 games of last year, the first season of Ange, you can see the decline of our performances, the fact that no one's really improving, and that's it. Yes, you can say that they know the system a little bit better. That's cool. Yes, they press a little bit better because they've got more energy. That's cool. But the quality, which is the important part, is what I'm concerned about, and that's it. And you can see it straight away because, yeah, we're passing the ball in certain areas. Right, yes. You've got players that are wanting to do better. Yes. Yes, there's a little bit of youthfulness about us. Yes, because we've got rid of some of the older players in the team. But I just can't seem to ignore the fact that we haven't got better in terms of being more ruthless, taking our chances, and being more solid at the back as well. And that's it. And also, I look at the characters as well. I don't see characters there that, even though we've got Solanke in, who's a better striker in terms of prospect, and that's it. Profile matches what we want, and that's it. I don't see we've gone out and got somebody that has kind of won something, one of a pro that's achieved a lot in the game, that can, players that we've got, young players that we've got, can learn off as well. And that's where my frustration is in terms of us progressing, and that's it. Now, I could be proved wrong. I can be definitely proved wrong, definitely. By the end of the season, we might achieve what we want to achieve by getting top four. Because I do understand, I've said it how many times to you, and I said it last season, it's a bang average league. It's an absolutely bang average league. You've got a few teams that are well and above where they should be at the moment. They're doing, they're way ahead of everybody. And you can name those teams like Arsenal, Man City, obviously, maybe Liverpool at a push. But then you've got that group which we're in by luck, by the way, because I think the other teams are just just gone wayward. Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle, who obviously beat us. And yeah, I know a lot of Newcastle fans are saying that they didn't play well and got lucky. But I think it just shows that when you've got the opportunities that we've had in that game, we didn't punish them, and that's it. And unfortunately, Newcastle have got quality in their forward line and their attack to punish you, regardless whether they've got injuries. It still was crucial to win the game against us, and that was it. But Newcastle, Chelsea, West Ham, who've had a very good transfer window. So it's when you name all those teams that I've just mentioned, Aston Villa as well, who are in the Champions League as well. When I name all those teams that I'm mentioning right now, it just shows you that we've got a lot to work. We've got a lot of work this season, especially with Europe. And I just feel that what Johan Lang has said, with what Postecoglou said, it just shows you that I think we're just far and away from what I expect as a good team. And I don't think that's negative. I think that's just honesty from me. I know what a good team is. And I don't actually go and watch my team and say they're getting me off my feet. I just feel, same old Tottenham again, different day. And I just don't feel that there is anything to be excited about at the moment. People will say to me, go and support another team. But if I wasn't that passionate about my team, I wouldn't be actually talking to you right now about Tottenham, thinking about it all the time, being so passionate about it, and that's it. I don't really understand the criticism of being honest about your team, and that's it. Because let's be honest here, like I said, I've been a supporter for so long now. I've been a supporter since I was a young kid, since when Jerry Francis got sacked and Christian Ghost came in, and I've seen it all. I even done the history books as well. And for me, I think the excuses of saying that we've got injuries, and it is excuses because we all knew we were going to get injuries, especially with people like Van der Ven. Richarlison's hardly fit, even though he's bang average. And I've told people he's bang average. Solanke, yeah, we got a lucky season. He got a lucky season at Bournemouth where he was always fit, but Bournemouth didn't have any Europe, and that's it. But now he's come to Tottenham, he's got injured, so we find ourselves with no striker, and people will start making excuses like, if Solanke was fit or Richarlison was fit, we would have scored our chances. Well, we all know Richarlison's up and down, so that's not true. Yes, he had a purple patch last season, but we can't really say that he was guaranteed to score goals. And really, we don't know about Solanke still. He still needs to prove it. Yes, he had a good season last season, but you got to do it next season and the following season after that. So I think we do go over the top about things, I think, a lot of the time, Tottenham fans, thinking that, we got injuries, but other teams have injuries. Newcastle had injuries, but they knew how to adapt. They were able to adapt to different things, different ways to try and combat our system, which is now becoming more notable, and more teams are aware how to combat our system and know how to play against our system, and that's it. I think it's more now for the players to become more smart with the football IQ, but unfortunately, I don't think we've got enough of those players to do that. I think the type of characters we've got are players that are just goody two-shoes, and that's it. And I think if we saw it more, I think you saw more of players thinking for themselves. I think you could be a little bit more positive, willing to take on their man, but working on the things that they're not good at. But I just don't think that. I don't think we're getting that at the moment, and that's where I have to be honest. I'm just frustrated seeing this, and this is why I don't think we're making any progress, and that's it. It'll be interesting to see how what happens after the international break, but I'm still not there yet, and it's going to take me a while to be there yet. And people can criticize me how much they want, but their questions are going to be asked of a manager. And the people that keep on saying that, oh, we need to just be patient, like I said before, my couple of videos before, I've been patient since 2008. That's the last time we won a trophy. And that's when we've been building from. And that's all I need to say. The building has been constant since then. So unfortunately, Ange is coming to the fire. And unfortunately, that history is going to be on his head, unfortunately. And if he's a good manager, he'll be able to handle it, handle the history. You know, the thing is, though, you can say whatever you want. Pochettino was able to handle that history. The only thing he didn't do was win us a trophy, which would have helped us, helped a lot of players. We had the opportunity with Mourinho. We sacked him before the cup final. And that would have helped. That would have helped the ease of the pressure, and that's it. But unfortunately, because of that pressure, because we haven't won any trophies, and was on our how many we've been building for so long now, patience has gone from myself, and you can't tell me to be patient anymore. It's now time for you to prove yourself, and that's it. And unfortunately, you know, people will say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want to me and say, well, Ange speaks for the club. Well, you're digging a hole for yourself, Ange. You're digging a hole for yourself. You're talking too much. And yeah, people will say, oh, we love him talking. But unfortunately, your word, I've got to go by your word then. So whatever you say, I go by your words. So if you're contradicting yourself, being a hypocrite, or contradicting yourself, I'm going to go back on what you just said. So now you said that basically, you said, we don't need a defender because we don't want to block the pathway for our youngsters. Phillips that you don't even want to use, and Verkovic that you put on loan as well. So make it make sense. So you can't now play a three in the back because now you want to wait for the future for these defenders to get their chance to get into the first team. You don't want to get a decent left winger because you don't want to block the pathway for Mikey Moore. And there's your problem. There's no competitive edge about our team. No one's worried about our team at the moment, let alone someone like Romero. When I say that Romero maybe needs to get dropped and maybe you should use Ben Davis, you say, no. I don't want to use Ben Davis. No, he's not good enough. So why is he in the squad then? Why do we just get rid of him then? If he's not good enough, why have we not got another defender in? It makes no sense whatsoever. This is what I said on Tottenham away. And I got people saying, no, we don't want to get rid of him. No, we can't get rid of him. Well, if we can't use him, why have we got him in the squad? He's not useful to us then. Again, it goes back to the thing about being ruthless. It's being ruthless to build a squad to win. To win something big. Win the Premier League. Because that's the only way you achieve things, to be ruthless. Thing is, though, and this may be my last point of the video, because I'll try and do some lives soon, so keep your eyes peeled and keep your notifications on. I think right now, for me, it's just got to be proven. I need to see it. And it's going to take me years to actually see it for myself at the moment. And unfortunately for Ange, he's now really a situation where he's got to take the fact that we've had so many years of being let down so many times, and people have just lost trust and lost faith. Unfortunately, me myself, and people can say whatever they want to me. Say, well, we just need to change and say this. Well, I'm not changing. I'm not changing. So the more you keep on pushing me, the more I'm just going to be pushed other way, where I'm just not interested in what you're saying. And I keep on saying to people, if you have a good conversation with me, actually have a conversation rather than saying negativity, or give me something. And I was saying in this video as well, I'll ask everybody in the chat, everybody that is watch this video and watch it on playback, why should I change my mind? Why should I feel what is it based on? Based on what do you should I change my mind that we are making progress at the moment? Based on what are we going to win a trophy this season? Based on what? If we get top four this season, which we're not, because I think we're going to get 7th or 6th, maybe worse 8th at best. And it's not a disaster, but I'm saying to achieve something, because if we see other teams achieving something who are looked as teams that are below us, you'll feel frustrated. Especially the fact that we, at the moment, are supposedly the best run club. And if we look at it, putting in things in context, we look back to 1991, our worst time, I was told, being a Tottenham fan, because of what was the financials of being the financial problems that we were having, being at Tottenham Hotspur at the time. We still won an FA Cup. And you can say whatever you want about the players that were there, but my point is that even though the club were going through so much we were in a bad place, we still had the strength. The players still had the strength to know what was going on around them and still won a trophy. Now, you can say that it had quality, but that just says something to you, doesn't it? If you have quality, regardless what you're doing well-run club, if you don't have quality in your club, you're not going to do anything. And unfortunately, Ange has got to take responsibility for this right now, because all the forwards that have been brought into this club, and unfortunately, I'm going to look at the blame on him, because that is the reason why we are, yes, the defence and the midfield, which is absolutely bang average, right? And I don't think you can do anything about it, because people are now saying we need a number 6. Well, we've been told that he doesn't play with a number 6. People are saying that we've got forwards that can improve. I don't agree with that. I think you need quality in those forward positions. Wingers that are actually going to take on their man. Yeah, you can say Audibert does take on his man, but the problem is with Audibert, he's still raw. He's still learning. And that was the problem I had with it. So when you've got not great forwards other than Solanke, who can hold up the ball, that is on Ange. That is on Ange, because he picked these players out. And you can say whatever you want, but other teams are getting better players. We all said we want Matt O'Reilly for Tottenham in midfield. We all said, we looked at Kudos, we were sitting there thinking, why have we got Johnson when they've got Kudos, West Ham? We all said we liked Somerville from Leeds. We didn't get him. We got Audibert instead. So the point I'm making is the club have got to prove themselves. They've got to show that they believe in the process. They've got to prove that they believe in this process. And it's going to take a while for them to show it, and that's it. And us to believe. And until then, I can't get on board with this. I'll watch. I'll still go to games when I can. but I can't get on board with this, and that's it. And it's on Ange, this. It's on the board as well, because unfortunately that Johan Lang interview just made it even worse for Ange. Made it even worse. And let's be honest here, it's all right to do it after a transfer window. You need to do it after, when the fans are turning. Then we'll see whether you really believe in the manager. And I'm going to be hard, because unfortunately they don't deserve my support right now. They don't deserve I'm not that stupid. I need to see it more. I need to see more. And they need to prove it. So over to you, Ange, and the board. And you show us whether you really can do it or not. I doubt it. I still stick by what I say. Ange is leaving at the end of the season, and that's it. But you can change my mind. But it's going to take a lot to change my mind, and that's it. Based on history. Like I said before, Truth Hurts, coming from Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer, the people's champion, and everyone's guilty pleasure, and that's it. And if you don't know, get to know. Because now people are starting to see what I'm trying to say. I hope everybody understands what I'm trying to say at the moment. It's kind of something where I'm just trying to just express how I feel at the moment. There'll be more light-hearted videos coming soon during this international break, where I'm going to be on the beach, relaxing, and where some of the players are going to be working hard, but some of them will still be on the beach like they were against Newcastle, and that's it. And as always, like I finish off the video, if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and come on you Spurs. And I'm out.